Welcome to Santa Isabel, a Rainforest Alliance certified coffee farm and 100% Salvadoran Bourbon certified coffee farm. Our Santa Isabel State Farm bears the name of a beautiful Colombian lady who came to El Salvador along with her family in the middle of the 19th century, Isabel Pérez Lalinde. In 1872, our great-grand-uncle, Dr. Emilio Álvarez Lalinde, who was in love with her, came to Salvadoran land following his heart feelings on her pathway. Member of a Colombian coffee-producing family, Dr. Álvarez founded the Agricultural Company of El Salvador in order to establish coffee farms in the fertile spurs of the San Salvador and Santa Ana volcanoes. Around 1890, his younger brothers, Roberto Álvarez Lalinde, our great-grandfather, and his brother Rafael arrived. Rafael would continue with the farm in Santa Ana, at the western region of the country, and Roberto with the farms at the San Salvador volcano. Both would introduce new techniques to Salvadoran coffee culture, and above all, would imprint a passion for coffee growing and a solid tradition to obtain the highest quality. In 1904, the year when the spacious family houses built, our Santa Isabel State Farm had become the flagship farm of all the ones our great-grandfather would establish in the San Salvador volcano. Later, it would be inherited by his daughter, Maria Álvarez de Estal, and finally, by his great-grandson, Jeff Holman Álvarez, who, as a fourth generation of coffee producers, continues with this 2-century-old tradition. The Santa Isabel State Farm has 82 hectares of rich volcanic soils, and due to its average height of 4,300 feet above sea level, gives it a constant and pleasant temperature of 77 Fahrenheit degrees, which, along to the amount of rainfall and sunlight that this coffee landscape receives, creates the perfect microclimate for its cultivation. The 100% Arabica bourbon variety of the farm receives our special care throughout the year, and it is handled as a garden, in which each little tree is treated in an individual way. The technical assistance is ever present in the most critical phases of the cultivation, and combined with the experience of the farm administrators and our personal supervision, ensures that at harvesting time the beans will give their best honeydew at milling. Harvesting is a highlight in the coffee culture of El Salvador. Each bean is hand-picked with the skillfulness, care, and diligence that have been transmitted from generations. It is the phase that most jobs generate, and for thousands of families is their most important economic income each year. It is a task performed with happiness and enthusiasm from the early hours, and it attracts a lot of people to work with us due to the treatment and the social benefits that we provide them, which foster the good reputation of our farm. Each process in the Santa Isabel State Farm is done with expert devotion. From blossoming, when the farm dresses up with white splendor and fills the air with intense citric and jasmine scents, to the perfect ripening of the cherries and the milling process, the art of extracting the finest and complex aromas and flavors of a splendid quality coffee is continuous. These secrets of growing and processing result in a cup well recognized by its exquisite aroma, with good body and acidity. In essence, a coffee with accentuated sweetness, round, with good balance and citric tones and chocolate undertones. But the key to the quality of the coffee from Santa Isabel lays on a long tradition of constantly improving the life conditions of the people who collaborate in all the areas that ensure such quality. And our love for the ecological patrimony of the farm, due to its closeness to San Salvador, becomes even more critical. The foliage of its coffee forest plays an important role in the purification of the city's air below. It also nourishes the water table of the crowded metropolis and serves as an invaluable shelter to hundreds of bird species and a wild fauna. In the social aspect at Santa Isabel, our family continues with this tradition established by our ancestors more than a century ago, and now is fostered by Jeff Holman Alvarez and his family, who constitute the fifth generation of coffee growers and have built the quality reputation of our farm. It is a tradition augmented by a great social sensibility and interest to assist the families who collaborate with us, keeping their life conditions above the standards required by the government throughout the years. That is why our farm has been handled under an integrating scheme where we have the agricultural techniques, its administration, and the social projection and community development. Despite a long social agitation period, the impact from 2 earthquakes, and the international coffee crisis, at Santa Isabel Coffee Farm, we have not only kept our traditional levels of production and cup quality and the benefits and services we offer to our workers, but also we have made an effort to implement new programs for integral development. In healthcare, there are preventive programs such as the Healthy Children, maternity care, adult assistance, environmental risk factors, and first aid services. In education, there are programs developed to educate and train children and adults in different topics such as teamwork, leadership, personal development, hygiene, and family and community development. In the social development aspect, there have been established a community convenience store and family orchids. We also offer access to credits and support social and sport activities as a part of our managerial philosophy based on solidarity. This is our Santa Isabel Coffee Farm, a farm that was established over a century ago at the top of a volcano, which now is seen as one of the Salvadoran coffee farms representing a new coffee culture. Inheriting a long quality coffee tradition, but with a modern vision of social commitment and ecological sustainability.